Linux or Mac format. They update it nearly every couple of months. It's a really good program, and it lets you actually record your voice in many, many formats. You know, whether you're using 4,000 clips per second or whatever you're doing for a sampling rate, then you can plot it out, find the high spots and the points of anomalous signal, widen them out, find the exact frequency, and then you can use databases that are out there on the web to see what that frequency relates to. Could be a ligament, it could be a tendon, it could be vitamin A, it could be oxalic acid, it could be anything. And the entire chemical index is in some of these databases. The one I used that I really liked was NAS. That was a pretty good one. I believe it's a Nutritional Awareness Scientific version. It just literally had so many frequencies. But yes, I've played with it, I've used it, and I've put sound back into my body using different types of electronic formats. But what I've found that works the best is tuning forks. There's a guy named Randy Masters who's just blindingly brilliant at working on frequencies and things like that. And he builds these hot tuning forks that you can actually work on your body with. He has different ones for chakras, for skin, for lymph node regeneration, you name it, you can do it. In fact, I just got a whole batch of them in for Karen, and we're going to test those on my spectrum analyzer, and we're going to see what parts of the body they work best with. So yes, I've played with that.
Wow. It's been said, I've heard people say that all we are really is light, color, and sound. So when you take into consideration some of these techniques, I mean, they make sense.
All right, light, color, and sound are merely aberrations of what we view as our vibrational density. The denser you are, the easier you are to see. Solid doors, solid walls, they vibrate at very low frequencies. Extremely high frequencies are things like viruses, microbes, and you get really, really high up and you find out you're nothing but a bag of energy in a form that actually you notice as being solid. But that's a whole other metaphysical concept.
I've been doing a lot of meditation lately, and the past guest that I had on was my meditation teacher. Do you have any experience with meditation, and is that something that you do regularly?
Extensive experience. When I was in the military and I was in the Navy, I worked in mission planning on the Kennedy. And 3 years into my hitch, I realized, oh, crap, I don't belong here. I need to get out and go do something real. Because I realized what the intelligence community had become. I saw what the New World Order had done to the whole thing. They turned it into a socialistic program. And they did that on purpose because they didn't want it to be a constitutionally regulated and oriented group. So at that point, I realized there's only two paths: go out and shoot every one of them and put them in the ground, or go out and make a few other changes and do something a little bit different, which we're going to do from the mind side. And we will win because there are many, many more of us than there are of them. And once people realize they can couple and have an effect on others, we will shift this. But we just need to make people understand that they are that powerful. There are whole satellite constellations up above us generating low-frequency waves to interrupt that process, one of them being the Clementine satellites. So there's a lot of stuff getting beamed down here at us to interrupt our ability to astrally project, to do remote viewing and things like that. And then you've got router signals, cell phone signals, UHF radio, VHF radio, HF radio, and then everything up in the gigahertz range. All of that stuff, yeah, it's just like having a fog drifting through your face every day, all day. So we're going to work on things to clear that out. Guys like Bob Dratch, he's doing great work on that. You've got folks like Todd Murphy with his Shiva neural system. That thing has allowed me to have some of the most unbelievably incredible dream states I've had in 20 years. So lucid, so colorful, so vivid, so real, I wasn't really sure I wanted to come back in the morning. And the other day, I did a Persinger session on the Shiva system, And this is after about 8 or 10 sessions prior, because they build on each other and your perceptions get stronger. I kicked off an out-of-body experience right after the first sleep cycle after the session was done. So some of these tools allow us to do things anyway.
Yeah, lucid dreaming is definitely an interesting concept, and in my beginning days of this radio show, which only started about 5.5, 6 months ago, I was talking about lucid dreaming, and I was doing some of the writings in my dream journal and trying to keep track of my dreams and realize when I'm dreaming, when I'm in that unconscious state. And that's something that I would like to get into. Also, maybe on the other side, we can get into this concept of how the New World Order and whoever may be behind the New World Order works in this pyramidal type structure, when we can affect that, and we can learn to affect that better when we realize that what we are actually part of is a holographic structure.
That's correct. Remember, pyramids are everything, in the body and out. If you look at most of the molecules and atoms in our body, and you look at them under extreme magnification down at the electron microscope level, you're looking at pyramid-shaped waveforms. You're looking at pyramid-shaped molecules, dodecahedrons, tetrahedrons, that sort of thing. And if you think about it, this is the science behind it, and this is why pyramids work in a lot of different things we use. I wear an amulet that's got about 90 or so pyramids on it in a phi spiral, Fibonacci ratio, 1.618 to 1. And any pyramid structure at roughly a 52-degree angle, I'm not going to go into the specifics, but what happens is anytime they're struck by electromagnetic radiation, routers, cell phone signals, 60 hertz power, all that stuff, when it strikes it, it generates negative ions in the downward direction. So what it does is converts energy that would normally damage your system, and there's many books written on how damaging this stuff is. Just ask Johnny Cochran. Big old tumor right on his side of his head where he held his cell phone all those years. He's dead now. So basically what it'll do is heal your body, because your body loves negative ions. And that's why those LED units that we carry on the website, they take photonic energy or light, and we strobe it at very healthy frequencies your body loves, and it generates negative ions, because that's how photonic energy enters your cell structures. And that's why...
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to thank everybody. I mean, we're down to 2 minutes here. I want to thank everybody for that first hour and for tuning in. This second hour, we're going to get into some more health and wellness subjects and things that people can really use to benefit them in their daily lives. I want to thank Jeff for joining me. We are doing another hour behind the scenes. That it won't be live, but it will be available on archive, and will be up tonight, I'm sure, on YouTube, as my co-host, who will be joining us the second hour, is always so good at getting that interview up.
You're doing a great job, Jeremy.
Oh, and Aaron's going to go ahead and join us in that second hour, too. So we got Aaron, we got Richard Rowell, Jeff Harvey, and Jeremiah Duncan, and we'll be all on the radio in a half an hour, or I'm sorry, not a half an hour, right after this break, and we'll be doing a second hour behind the scenes. So everybody, just hold on, and don't forget to check out the archive.
FreemanTV.com. In the To-This DVD, Obama, Cloning and the Coming Space War, Freeman takes you on a roller coaster ride of ancient technology and conspiracy, outlining the Obama administration's movement towards the military space program. Freeman will challenge your very sight as he postulates the theory that our first family may be clones of ancient pharaohs. Explore revelations of Lucifer, occult rituals hidden as political speech, and the acceleration of the weaponization of space for the coming World War. Who is this man we call the President? Will he cause a constitutional crisis? What's hidden within his name and his statements? Is Obama the Antichrist predicted by Nostradamus? or are things much stranger than they appear? Obama, cloning, and the coming space war. This video will leave you staggered as to how all these possibilities could come true in one moment of time. Be ahead of the curve. Freeman makes projections that could alter the course of history. Yet, Obama, cloning